It has been a testing couple of weeks. I've had tonsillitis. It's going around, so yeah, inevitably I was going to get it, I guess. All the kids at school have had it. Of course, they shake it off in about 3 days. I'm still here. So we're on day 9 now, or even 10, and I'm still feeling the tonsils, but I feel a lot better now. Can't get antibiotics. My doctor particularly just will not give me antibiotics. I've even tried going down to the chemist, and they can now administer them. They're not keen at all. So been paracetamol, aspirin, just trying to sort of keep going at work and whatnot, really. So anyway, that's why I've been a little bit lacklustre the last sort of few weeks. But that said, I'm feeling a little bit better. Well enough to show you a little bit what I've been up to. So despite being a bit poorly, usually when I'm poorly, I kind of hit the eBaying and start buying bits and bobs that I know I'm going to need. So I've got some goodies to show you, and that's what I'll do. And that's what I'll show you first. This is the most exciting thing. 20 quid this cost me. It's a new Spinnaker. Now, when I was buying it, the guy said he's never used it. It's just been in the garage. It's got a bit of corrosion and a bit of staining around there, but as you can see, the rest of it it even smells sort of like it's been in a house. Doesn't even smell mouldy. And this one it's a symmetric again, because I cannot find any asymmetric ones to fit. But this one is a bit bigger than the GP14 one. Now, when I was buying it, he got the measurements wrong. So originally, I think he said it was 16 feet by, I can't remember now, but it was a bit big. But I thought, do you know what? I'll get it. I'll chop it up. Turns out it's only just a little bit bigger than the GP14 one, but perfectly bigger. And let me just explain that to you now. I've got my trusty little notepad here. I've been doing some calculations, and there's a value called the J value, and that is it's a measurement that you take from your mast to right at the end of the boat, the tip of the boat, and I think it's where the jib would attach to the boat. I'm pretty sure you don't include the bowsprit, but by the way, bowsprit, I'm pronouncing everything correctly as much as possible now, but that measurement on my boat is 1.6 meters. Now, I know that because of the calculations I did with the Spinnaker pole. Now, a Spinnaker, the foot of the Spinnaker should be between 1.6 and 2 times as a multiplier of that 1.6. So the GP14 Spinnaker that we've got already, let me do the maths for it. It's got a foot of 1600 millimeters. That works out at 1.43. So it's actually under spec for the boat. The new Spinnaker has a value of 1.72, which is actually bang on, isn't it? Because 1.72 is above 1.6. It's a good chunk better than the GP14 one. And it's below 2. I think if we were at 2, we were probably going to get into the sizes needed for racing, things like that. Now, this one is 50 centimetres. Let's have a look at that. It's 220 to 7. Yeah, it's about 50 centimetres higher on the luffs. So if you think about it, it's about that much higher. Now, that is a lot of sail to raise up, because at the moment the sail's connected to the top of the mast anyway. So we're going to go down to the boatyard hopefully this week and take the sail with us. We're going to do a little bit of fitting. Hopefully we can do that, and seeing if we can get away with the sail, bending and getting a lovely shape and being attached to the top of the mast. Otherwise, we're going to have to think about how we're going to raise that up. Attaching it to the gaff, I don't think is really going to be an option. But there are things we can think about. But I'm hoping we can pull this sail down, because at the moment the GP14 one has a line at the bottom to raise it up, and that's about 40-50 centimeters. So I'm hoping we can attach this to the bowsprit, and we can attach it to the top of the mast, and all will be good. The only issue with this sail is it's symmetric, so it won't fly, you know, as perfectly when I'm reaching with it, because I like to use it asymmetrically. But I think poled out for running is going to be fine. And we're just going to have to test it, aren't we? I think that's the whole point of these sails. We're going to have some fun testing it. Otherwise, maybe we have to just cut either this one or the GP14 up, so we can, you know, we can actually make it into an asymmetric sail. I don't know if that will work or not. Anyone that wants to help, please do, because, you know, this is all just me seeing what happens. So anyway, first thing I've bought there, super duper candidate for buy of the season. We haven't even started season 4 yet. I've also bought, let's move this, a few other little bits and bobs. So I need a dedicated kicker for the lugger, for the boom. I can't use the mirrors one because that belongs to the mirror. So I got this for £6. I mean, for these double blocks and the single block and jammer alone, that would be worth it. I mean, this cord is almost worth £6, isn't it? This is a 4-to-1, and this will allow me to tighten up the kicker and jam it here, and will give me loads of options as to where I want to put this. I also bought this. This cost me £6 as well. Now I accidentally bought the wrong thing. I thought this was would be okay, like a strop to go over the boom, and then this would attach to this somehow. But actually, this is for the top of the mast. So someone's made this. It's really lovely. I've also got 2 of these. So there's the other one. I think I got these for £10. You know, these are worth about £30-40 each. Work perfectly. You know, need a little bit of oil in them and they'll be fine. These are just extra ones of these that I need for my new bowsprit stroke, connecting up the, the ridge for the, intended spray cover. So these won't fit. This is the bowsprit here. These are a little bit too small for this, but actually if I turn this around to the nose of the bowsprit, they fit perfectly in this. So maybe we've got to devise a way of making a collar out of this aluminium, putting the collar on there, and then this aluminium is quite a snug fit. We'll just have to make sure we screw that in, and I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty sound for that. So there's another sort of Best Buy. I actually got these free. I may have mentioned I do just general reviews for people, just for free on Amazon. And occasionally, to be honest with you, all I really want to review are products like this. Occasionally I get something that's brilliant and really applicable, and that's these. So I've got loads of ability now to make these. By the way, it comes with this, with a way of obviously crimping them. So I've got all the tools needed now to make some, wire strops. So they were free. I got some more of these. These have proven to be just amazing clips. Strong, they don't corrode, and they're just brilliant. I get them from the same guy I always do, and this time I think I bought 10 because they're so useful, and they fit. The clip on them fits quite small profiles, so it'll go maybe not through there. Look at that. Yeah, so, and it's so easy to get on and off. So I do use them all over the boat, not where there's perhaps really serious stresses and strains, but they are really, really useful and also good to have on the boat. So here is my little mount or pedestal for the Simrad autopilot, and actually this has been brilliant. It's stood up really well. It's in great condition, apart from the thread there. So you may be able to see it is rusting, that thread. To be honest with you, it's not that bad to this side, but on the other side, so this is what it looks like new, but on the other side, unfortunately, the little hexagon sort of bolt that this screws into is really rusted quite badly. So what I'm going to try and do is find stainless steel versions of these, and then I'm going to try and I'm just going to try and see if we can just get this to unscrew. Because we're going to actually just get rid of this, I'm going to just see if we can ease that out, which we can. There we go. I put a spot of varnish in as we did it. It would be good, wouldn't it, to see actually how well that's worked. So, I mean, this has lasted all season. So you can see, yeah, it's not too bad, is it, that? And to be honest with you, the corrosion on this side isn't that bad. But if I've got a load of these, we may as well replace it with a new one, or even better, I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to actually just wait and see if we can find stainless steel ones that won't ever need replacing. So that's the job. I just wanted to, make sure we could get this out. The answer to that is yes, no problem. Now, have to make a bit of a confession. I nearly bought another boat. So I can't afford another boat until I sell some other things. I've got nowhere to put it. But this boat came along and it just seemed to answer all my dreams. So the boat is a Tricorn 16. It's a 16-foot boat, but it has a little cabin. I'm told the cabin can be made watertight. It's self-draining. And it sails like a witch, apparently. It'll outsail a wayfarer. But apparently it's very stable as well. So how they do it, I don't know. So, had the boat not been in such bad condition, I mean, the boat does have a lot of peeling paint, and it's got this nasty grey paint on the deck. It's also got this green hull. It would all have to come off. It's not got the original sails, and the sails it has got are apparently a little bit rough and ready. But, oh my God, I nearly pulled the trigger and went to buy it. It's a good job I didn't, though, because what I've also found out is when you stow the mast and you need a mast step on the trailer, if you've got a high-top van, that's not going to work. So I realised that the only tow bar I have is on my van. So the mast wouldn't actually clear the height of the van, and I'd have been in a world of pain wondering how to sort of stow that mast. Now, someone has offered to go with me and stick it on the top of their van, but that doesn't really help, does it, in the long term? So I'm not going to get it. Don't worry. It was tempting, though. I think we're going to continue the journey next season in trying to get this lugger to sail at a fair rate in low winds. But the other thing I've been told is that you can sail that lugger in much more wind, even on the sea. So don't be afraid to do that. So there we go. Thought I'd let you know, but and it's a cracking little boat for someone that's got the time to get it running. Not the other reason I didn't buy it was there's just no parts available. The company went bankrupt. They're very old boats. They were built in the 60s, and the boom's not the right boom on it. And I just don't want a boat that's going to be a higgledy-piggledy mess, and it's going to end up costing me a lot of money to find the right things for it and to find any information on it. So I think I've done the right thing by not buying it, but I thought I'd let you know about that anyway. Sorry, but I was practicing doing these, and my first one went so well that I've kind of had to sort of keep using it. So as you can see, I've used a little loop in there, put the aluminium grommet over, and then you have to pull this line quite hard to get it all tightened up, otherwise this will be a little bit loose. See, that's nice and tight now. Obviously you've got to loop it all through here in the right order, bring the wire all the way round, and then pull on that, and at the same time you pull on that, you just crimp it with the crimpers, and that is brilliant. Look at that. So that's one side of that done, and this will be the side that will clip into, well, probably onto the mast actually, and then so that will go this side, we said, didn't we? So now all we have to do is get sort of a variable, you know, the right length here, probably with the same. Let's have a little look. That's that one. We can go up a size, but then no, that won't go through there. So we need to sort of shape this, size it, so you know we get the right length here. But we can't do that till we get to the boat, really. So I think we'll do that. We'll take all this down with us tomorrow, all being well, or the next time, and we will see if we can get all this sorted. And then the next job will be to get that boom all sanded up, looking lovely, varnished, and you know, epoxied and varnished. And you know, I think at the moment we've got the weather for it as well, so I might even attempt to do a little bit of that in the garage without the heating, because the heating cost me a fortune last year. So there you go. Now I could just put another loop in here like this and then shackle it into there. That's the other alternative. Do you know what? I think we may do that, because then it allows me to just take that out and use a line if I need to. So yeah, that might be a better idea. But either way, we need to get a little loop in these. And yeah, it's a whole new skill for me, this. First time I've done this. If I'd have known it was this easy, I would have bought my own new shrouds for the Lugger, because they were very expensive.